Hi everyone, it's Sierra, and since I haven't been making a Garfield updated book collection in a long time, I just want to show you what I got so far, even though it's December, it's not Christmas yet, and I just want to show y'all what I got and how can I say, it's in a box because it's not in shelves, and my aunt and uncle moved in, and that's why it's in a box. So I'll show you what I got. Okay, let's start. Here's this Garfield dictionary. It's very thick. It's heavy actually, and it's really funny because it shows his own way of his words and stuff. So put that aside. Garfield says a mouthful. His 21st book. Garfield Fat Cat 3-pack with his 13th, 14th, and 15th book. So, it's a 3-pack. Garfield Out to Lunch, his 12th book. Garfield Rolls On, his 11th book. I'm sorry if I'm shaking the camera so much. Just a second. Garfield, his 10th book. Makes It Big. Garfield in the Rough. Actually have 2 of them. Garfield Takes Up Space, his 20th book. Garfield Hangs Out, his 19th book. Garfield Goes to Waste, his 18th book. Sorry, I'm just stacking it over here, and that's why you see me move my camera so much. Garfield Chews the Fat, his 17th book. Garfield rounds out his 16th book. Garfield Hogs the Spotlight, his 36th book. Garfield Feeds the Kitty, his 35th book. Garfield Life to the Fullest, his 34th book. Garfield Throws His Weight Around, his 33rd book. Garfield Thinks Big. Sorry we can't see it. Garfield Thinks Big, his 32nd book. Garfield Hams It Up, his 31st book. Garfield Bigger and Better, his 30th book. Garfield Tons of Fun, his 29th book. Garfield Life in the Fat Lane, his 28th book. Garfield Dishes It Out, his 27th book. This one and the 29th one were actually my first Garfield books, and I wouldn't stop reading them because they were just so fun to read. Garfield Pulls His Weight, his 26th book. Garfield Loses His Feet, his 9th book. That's an old one right there. It's a 9th book. Garfield Tips the Scales, his 8th book. Garfield Sits Around the House, his 7th book. Garfield Eats His Heart Out, his 6th book. Garfield Takes the Cake, his 5th book. Garfield Weighs In, his 4th book. Garfield big, Garfield Bigger Than Life, his third book. Garfield Gains Weight, his second book. Oh look, I haven't finished reading it. It's been a long time. I haven't been reading this one. Been so busy. His first one, Garfield at Large, his first book. I resent that. I love this one. Garfield Hits the Big Time, his 25th book, which is a cool one. And here's the rest of the number ones. Just a second. Garfield Potbelly of Gold, his 50th book. It's pretty cool. I read this one, I think, already. Yeah. Up, down, up, down, up, down. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's pretty cool. I like the motion of it. His newest one is Garfield Cleans His Plate, his 60th book. That's him right there. The only number book I don't have is his 59th one, The Big Cheese, and I can't wait to get it. And yeah. Garfield Fat Pack 3-pack, and sorry if it's out of focus, but it says Garfield by the Pound, his 22nd book, Garfield Keeps His Chins Up, his 23rd one, and Garfield Takes His Licks, his 24th book. Like I said, it's not focusing right now, but that's a 3-pack. Garfield Goes to His Happy Place, his 58th book. This one kind of looks scary. Garfield Souped Up, his 57th one. I've already read this one. It's a funny one. I like this one. Garfield Caution Wide Load, his 56th book with his wide load. Garfield Sings for His Supper, his 55th book. The fish right there. This is what I got so far from Stacky. And stacking over here. Garfield Gets in a Pickle, his 54th book. Garfield Brings Home the Bacon, his 53rd book, with the pig on the carts. It's funny looking. Garfield Lord of the Jungle, his 52nd book. Garfield Shovels It In, his 51st book. Garfield Weighs His Options, his 49th book. And he has all the desserts and food on the scale.